My name is Mara Ellison. I was never the favorite. That was my younger sister, Tessa, loud, the one neighbors remembered. Our mother, Lila, adored her. "She's just like me," she'd say, palm on Tessa's shoulder. I was the quiet one. I read in corners, learned to sew before I could ride a bike. "Too serious," Lila would sigh. At 10, during a bridge brunch, I carried in a fruit tray. Lila mouthed, "Not now, Mara." Later, "You wouldn't enjoy the chatter." My father, Henry, never made me small. He worked 40 years as a machinist. Oil in the nails no soap could lift. When I brought home a perfect math exam, he pinned it to the fridge. Lila rolled her eyes, but he left it there. That was our balance. Lila and Tessa orbiting bright, me steady beside Dad. He retired with a cardboard box. He puttered, fixed small things. Then he slid off the back step, 4 inches, and broke his hip. Surgery was quick. Recovery crawled. The walker became a wheelchair. He hated being still. Lila hated it more. "I can't with all this sitting," she muttered. Tessa said she was too sensitive for bathing and meds. They took little trips. "You're good at this," Lila told me, reaching for her purse. They stopped asking. I started doing. Weeks later, the bank statements stopped arriving. "Less clutter," Lila said. I switched him to digital. I tried logging in with the credentials I'd set up. Access denied. At the branch, a manager explained. Permissions changed. Power of attorney on file. When I asked at home, Lila smiled. "It's easier this way." Something shifted in the room, and in me, and stayed shifted. By the 8th month, the house revolved around the den. Afternoon light pooled on Henry's chair. The garden went to seed. Lila arranged dinners out. Tessa cycled through jobs and declarations of exhaustion. I cut my hours and crossed off lists. Meds, bills, laundry, the careful lift and turn of his body. We hired Teresa Martin, a retired nurse, 3 afternoons a week. She arrived once to an empty house and blinked at me. I was told someone would assist. "No one's home," I said, rolling up my sleeves. They traveled, weekends, then weeks. A glossy desert spa brochure lay on the counter. "We're thinking of a little trip without your father," Lila said. "You're good at these things." I learned what silence weighs. One Thursday, routine scans were not routine. The doctor didn't close his door. "Late-stage pancreatic cancer," he said. "Months." Back in the waiting room, Dad squeezed my hand. That night I sent my resignation. Lila said, "Wow, that's a choice," without looking up. I cooked what he could swallow, read to him when words blurred. Cleaning a drawer, I found a manila envelope with my name. Inside, his neat, shaky letter. "Mara, if I can't say this later, take what I've managed. Take care of yourself first." Behind it, receipts, a deposit on a 2-bedroom near the park, a venue circled for early fall. He'd made a path where I could not. Michael Reyes, the hospice coordinator who sometimes covered for Teresa, brought coffee and quiet. We were not official, but we were not strangers. When Dad learned, he smiled. "You deserve someone who stays." On a Sunday morning, he exhaled and was gone. I handled the calls. The funeral would test what came next. I arrived early, straightened chairs, greeted neighbors. Lila came late in a black suit. Tessa trailed with sunglasses. When it was time to speak, Lila performed devotion. I watched the carpet and let it pass. Back home, his soap, his coffee, both of them on the couch with wine. "We need to talk," Lila said. Tessa lifted a document. "A waiver. You agree not to contest the estate." "Dad just died," I said. "These things move quickly," Lila replied. "Power of attorney. The house and accounts are being processed. You don't even live here." I signed. No one thanked me. "You'll need to be out in 10 days, Tessa said. That night, I packed. Clothes, Dad's photo, his notebooks, the envelope. 3 days later, the house number lit my phone. Lila's voice was glass. "Where's the money? The main account is empty." "You had control." "We left the passbook in the desk, but it's gone." "I never touched it." Silence stretched. "You didn't know." "Know what?" "The apartment deposit, the venue he circled, receipts in my name he chose." Tessa seized the phone. So that's our inheritance? A wedding? It's what he wanted. They called it impossible. I blocked the number. Word spread. The cruise non-refundable. The roof too old. A quick sale below market. A small condo. Tessa posted fewer selfies. Lila asked for her old job. It was filled. Michael and I married in fall at the place Dad marked. We framed his letter by the door. He hadn't left me a fortune. He left permission. Take care of yourself first. Some people inherit a house. I inherited a life I'm not sorry to choose at last.